performance formula. Everybody has employees. We all have employee challenges. But what can we do? How can we quantify that in a very simple, easy to understand, clear way that you can share with everyone throughout your organization? What way can you do that? So we broke it down here. We have the performance formula, which is A times E times S equals P. That's your attitude, your effort, and skill, and that equals your performance. So what does that look like? If everybody is a 1 as a first day of work, let's just do a story so that it makes sense. Let's just create a new employee. He's coming to work today and he's going to clean toilets. So he shows up, it's the first day of work, he meets his boss, Brian's there, and he talks to him and he says, go out and just clean the toilets today. He walks out in the new building, he has all the tools, he just kind of goes out and he cleans it. His attitude's a 1 because his effort's a 1 and his skill is a 1. He's basically a 1 performer. So the next day he shows up to work and Brian says, hey, my boss wants to talk to you. He says, all right. So he marches up the stairs and he says, oh, hey, what can I do? And the boss says, well, I heard yesterday you did a great job. But what I want you to do is just, focus on making sure that porcelain is white and it glistens when somebody walks in the next morning. And he walks down the stairs and he heads out, and his attitude, he's beaming. He is so excited because the boss acknowledged him. This is his second day out on the job, so he goes, now his attitude is a 2. So his attitude goes from a 1 to a 2 just by being told, or his performance goes from a 1 to a 2 just by being told, hey, you're awesome, you're doing a great job. What can we do to make that person even better? So he goes out the next day, he comes to work and he's still beaming because the boss told him, hey, you did a great job. And now he says, I want to prove him that I can do a better job. He tries even harder. He tries harder. So now he's the attitude and the effort, and now he's a 4. Well, finally, Brian has a chance to sit down with his new employee to show him how to properly clean the toilet. And he goes out and he shows him the pumice stones and whatnot, and he uses all the proper chemicals at the proper dilution rates. And so now, the third day out, Brian's still beaming from the boss, telling him he's doing a good job. He's still excited about the new job, so he's trying really hard, and he has some skill. He knows how to properly clean the hard water from it. He knows how to make sure that porcelain is shiny. So what does that look like? Now he's an 8. Now he's an 8. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Now that's kind of where most employees are. They have about the right amount of the positive attitude. They're giving about the right amount of effort, and their skills, for the most part, are, once they've been learned and trained, they're doing fine. Everybody kind of hovers around an 8. That's really all you can do just to have an employee. Now we all know what a bad attitude. And in math, a negative number thrown in, everything's negative, right? So if you have an employee that has a bad attitude, what's that bad attitude look like? That's a negative 8. That person's bringing down everyone around them, everyone in their organization. That employee is actively disengaged. That employee you need to either shape up the attitude or get rid of the employee. You cannot have negative employees. Negative employees will bring down everyone else. Look at this, right? Negative number is negative all the way across. So if you have one negative person, you have all that permeates throughout your organization. So you need to make sure that either you change the attitude right away or you get rid of the employee. I know it's hard. It's hard to want to get rid of employees, but it's the best for your company, best for your organization if they can't change their attitude. And lastly, how do you make it? What's the best? Well, the best is if this ideal or accomplishment that benefits everyone, the person needs to own it. The person needs to be motivated by their own big goal, their own life goal. So let's just say that Ashley decides she wants to go out and clean toilets, but you know what her goal is? To own a house. Her goal is to have a new car. Or maybe her goal is to send her child off to college. Whatever that goal is, if you can find what that goal is, and this is your job as a manager or an owner, your goal is to find out what that big why is. And once you do, the performance is off the charts. The performance is all threes, and that's 27. So now you've quantified it. Now you've quantified it. And this is the best you can be, is a 27. Now they're going to give you the best attitude, the best effort, and they're going to be trained. They're going to always want to be learning, getting better, being faster. They're going to give you all the effort that you've ever asked for, and they're going to have a positive attitude. Why? Because they're working for the big picture. They're working for the house, the college tuition, whatever it is, they're working for that. So don't just take your employees and say, you know what, they're doing a good job, I'm happy with them. Spend some time, learn about them. Take this very simple formula, give it to your managers, supervisors, your leads, whoever they are, and say, hey, why don't you evaluate each one of our employees? It'll take 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. If you're quick, it shouldn't take you any time at all. But then you can say, you know what? It's a negative attitude. It's negative effort. They're not trying very hard. Or they're great, but they're all 8. Let's make it that they're all 27s. But that will involve asking some questions. Hey, what motivates you? Why are you here? What do you want to do? What's your biggest dream? What does that look like? And as soon as you ask those questions and the lights of their eyes brighten and shine, then you can move them to a 27. But not until you understand what their big motivation is so that they have ownership and they want to succeed because they care. Thanks, and have a great day. There's more of this to come. Just keep on the lookout here on YouTube and on our new site,